Morning guys, Mike McGrath here. This morning I'm going to do a short video. I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to keep your team growing and also kind of how to stay in touch with them so that they keep doing the activities they need to do. So it's interesting that while you're building a team, sometimes we tend to micromanage and beat them over the head and ask them why they're not doing things and this and that. The truth is some people will do the activities. The majority of them, I hate to tell you, will not do them. They just won't stay active. They won't do anything. So always think about yourself first. So number 1 would be stay active yourself. And that means what I do first thing in the morning, right around between 9 and 10 o'clock, is I make my phone calls for the day. That could be it's at least 2, sometimes up to 10, 15 phone calls prospecting. So that's number 1 is you have to get those activities done early, because once you get those, typically they're the most difficult for us based on fear, based on rejection, whatever. So get that stuff out of the way early. Get your phone calls done first. The second thing along those same lines is you're setting an example. So that's number 2, set an example for your team. They will not just do what you say. They're going to be looking to you for, kind of as a mirror to themselves. Well, is he doing what he's asking us to do? So if you've made your phone calls and you're doing your follow-ups and things like that, you can explain that to your team. You can share some successes. You can share some things that you've learned by doing your phone calls. So that's number 2, is setting an example for your team. Extremely important to do that. They will do what you do, not necessarily what you say. So that's a strong phrase that I keep in my mind also. Number 3 is touch base with them. Touch base with your team. You'll figure out who's following your lead and who is not. That's not to say call everybody on your team, but touch base with the ones that are doing the activities that they need to do to build their team also and build their business. We don't want to chase people down, but you definitely want to stay in touch with the people that are being active and having successes, and maybe they're using you on 3-way calls for validation and credibility. Stay in touch with those people. You'll figure out how often, and you can ask them, how often do you want me to stay in touch? It keeps the team growing. It keeps that team aspect. Everybody wants to be part of something. So once they feel like you care about them, you're there to help them, and that kind of thing, it really helps your team grow and stay consistent and stay in the game when they may have a bad day or 2 bad days. By you staying in touch and saying, listen, I understand it. It happens for me too. It's not unusual for some people to say no, for people not to be there when you follow up. So those are the 3 tips. Number 1 is get your really important tasks out of the way. Normally, number 1 is phone calls. Get your phone calls, your prospecting calls for an initial contact, and also follow-ups done early in the day if you can do that. Number 2 is set an example. They're going to do what you do, not what you tell them to do. So you be the leader. You show them that it can be done. This is what I'm doing. I'd love to help you do the same thing. And 3 is stay in contact with your team. Touch base with them and see how they're doing, see what kind of issues they have. I like to get together and do calls together with my team. It really is, there's something to be said for camaraderie and people that are driving towards the same goals. Could be different goals, but they're goals all together. So hopefully that helps you. Those are my 3 tips for the day. Let's rock 2014. Don't forget to get your 15 free lead sources and 5 icebreakers to open conversations with people. That's a free MP3. Just put your name and email address in there. I'll shoot it right out to you. You can play it in your car, at the gym, wherever you want. And hopefully that helps you. So I'm here to help. Let's rock 2014. Take care, guys.